Hey guys, and welcome back for another great chapter read for Hello of the Neighbor Missing Pieces. Today we are going to be going into chapter 5. We left off in chapter 4 where basically Nikki had found out what happened at the Golden Apples amusement park, the tragedy that happened, that the little girl that was 7 had died. And at this point, he's just trying to figure out how is he gonna bring it up to let Aaron know that he do know, and also he's just thinking about the other weird stuff that he's seen over at the Peterson's house. So we're gonna see how is he's gonna let him know what he found out since Aaron didn't tell him, and let's see what else he finds out because now, like I don't know, it's really some stuff going over there, guys. What y'all think is going on? I don't know if this was your neighbor. This is their neighbor, so I don't know how I would feel already. Being new, just moved in, and finding out, or not even you telling me, having to investigate and find out. And you're the one who took me there. So that's where it's just like, I don't know. So we're going to see what the connection is to Aaron and the Golden Apples, because it's definitely one. All right, guys, so I am going to start us out. Jamil will read next, and then Jalia. So like I said, we're reading chapter 5, guys. I don't exactly need another reminder that Raven Brooks is weird. Between the llama farm and the not quite a grocery store, not to mention the whole Golden Apple tragedy hidden in the woods, this town is bonkers. It's eclectic. Dad says as we pass a woman walking her dog in a baby sling. There's not a mall within 30 miles. I complain. The square has at least 5 stores that sells clothes. It's gonna be all organic cotton and canvas stuff. There's a display in the natural grocer with the straw fedoras and scratchy hemp sandals. You don't know what it's going to be like until you see it, Dad says about the square, but even he doesn't sound convinced. I'm going to look like freaking Davy Crockett on the first day of school. Why why don't you just tie a piece of twine around my waist for a belt?
It's bad enough, Mom. Swap my pudding bags for home mail.
Pudding packs.
Pudding packs for home mail. Made granola. But I'm not bringing that in my lunch. Dad, seriously. It's not happening. Period. Well, Dad says, looking both wounded and
tickled.
He pulls into a parking space in the square and turns to me before I can escape the car. Where's all this coming from, North? I think about boating, but I see Dad's finger on the power lock. I've barely met anyone yet, I say, what if this is always the hard part, finding a way to tell my dad that I understand why we have to start over again, that I know it's not his fault, that his job is hard to keep, It's just that every time we move, it gets harder to be invisible, Remember when we moved to Reading? Reading, I asked Dad, He nods, listening intently. Remember how I wore that Reading Rocks shirt on the first day? The one with the
granite.
Dad smiles through a good pump. It's never wasted on him. Never wasted on him. But at school, a kid asked me if I shop for my clothes at the airport. I never told my dad about that. It's nothing is what I say to him now. But I draw the lines at puns. No clever tricks.
Dad cocks his head to the side, but I get out of the car before he can prolong this conversation. The square is really a square. There's a giant copper fountain in the middle of it. 3 enormous dancing apples with long spindly arms and legs are supposed to look like they're playing, but the way their faces are carved makes them look almost vicious. It's super unsettling, but no one else seems to be as bothered as I am. Little kids fling pennies into the water and balance along the low brick wall that surrounds the sculpture. Along the perimeter of the square, shops line up side by side facing the fountain. Restaurants ranging from casual to fancy make up corners of each side, and the shop seems to be separated by theme. Aside for really little kids, then kids my age, then adults, then the sort of catch-all knick-knack stores my mom would say are full of more stuff I'll have to dust on a shelf. Ooh, they have a Wellington Hamel. Dad's eyes sparkle against the reflection of the fountain as he gazes upon the expensive desk ornaments and massage chairs and rushes inside to join every other dad in Ravenbrooks. After 20 minutes, he's nearly convinced himself that he needs a stress-reducing foam figurine called the Gnome when a guy I don't know comes up behind him. We've already got you stressed out enough for the gnome? He asks.
Dad turns and laughs, clapping the guy on the shoulder. Even if you did, it's not like you're paying me enough to afford anything in this place. Now they're both laughing, and I see an equally uncomfortable kid lingering behind the guy who apparently knows how much money my dad isn't making at the Ravenbrooks banner. Excuse me, guys, that's just too much. My dad seems to suddenly remember us. And hey, this must be Enzo, my dad says, extending his hand to the kid, who takes it politely. Nice to meet you, the kid says. Then Dad pulls me forward and presents me. This is Nicky. Dad, I cringe. Sorry, Nick. This is Nick. Narf. This is Miguel Esposito, the college roommate I told you and Mom about, the one who told me about the job. We were lucky your dad was available, says Miguel, and I can tell he's a nice guy because he finds an easy way around my dad's unemployment. Hey, Narf, I think you and Enzo are the same age. 8th grade, right? He asks Enzo, who nods. Maybe you two will share some classes. Mr. Exposito says, and Enzo and I look at each other and shrug. Parents always say stuff like that, then look at the kid like we have the answers.
Like, why do y'all do that? Put us on the spot just like that in front of other people.
On the spot? That's how you feel?
In front of other kids.
We need somebody to help us get out of it.
If you like the gnome, you should check out the gremlin. Mr. Exposito says to Dad, switch the price twice the price, but it's a pen too. They run off to play with their old people novelties and leaves Enzo and me with exactly 2 things in common. I don't get in common, says Enzo.
Talk louder.
Enzo. This is the same kind of garbage they sell in airplane catalog. But Dad says those are a waste of money. I chuckle like I've ever been on an airport before. Airplane before. Anywhere where we've ever gone have been a few days drive away, and Dad and Mom never met a motel they didn't think was charming. Period. Their road,
Trippers.
trippers, through and through. Period. We're supposed to be buying me clothes, I say, and Enzo's
Nice.
nice.
Talk louder.
Exo's nice like his dad because he doesn't even flick.
He doesn't.
He doesn't ever flick his eyes down to see how warm my shirt is. Third,
Come on.
he says walking ahead of me. My friend's brother worked at gear across the square. Third, he's always scoring us stuff for really cheap per year. Doesn't look like the kind of place
Talk louder.
I should be shopping. But after Enzo has an
Exchange.
with the guy behind the counter who left his chin at me, Exo tells me to grab a few shirts and pairs of shorts. Are you sure? I ask, my embarrassment fighting it out with my ego because these clothes look normal and they swell new, and at least I won't be wearing a blinking neon sign saying I'm new on the first day of school.
Yeah, says Enzo, like it's no big deal. This is pretty much the only place to shop around here. I mean, unless you want to rock a straw hat. Right, from the grocery store. Dude, I tried on those shorts once. It felt like I was wearing pants made of mosquitoes. I was scratching my butt for weeks. People thought I had a diaper rash. He laughs, and holy aliens, this guy must be untouchable if he can survive a diaper rash rumor. It's weird, too, because aside from the normal clothes and gleaming white shoes, Enzo's just as much of a weirdo as me. It's nothing obvious, just something a fellow weirdo knows. His smile is totally unrestrained. He walks a little too fast. We leave the clothes at the counter for my dad to buy later and head across the square to the gamer's grotto. I tried to ignore the dancing apples in the fountain, but they're impossible to avoid. Creepy, right? Enzo says. I thought it was just me. I don't know why they don't take it down after what happened, he says, shaking his head. I didn't make the connection until now. The dancing apples are in homage to the factory that built the park that left a hole in Ravenbrooks wide enough to fall through. It seems like no matter how much I try to skirt the issue that no one wants to talk about, it's impossible not to topple down that hole.
The tragedy of the Golden Apple amusement park has clouded the entire town. Now that I'm closer, I can see a small plaque has been added to the sculpture, a memorial protected behind glass. It's Lucy Yee, posed against a standard school picture backdrop. Her straight black hair smoothed behind a thin headband. Her hand is propped under her chin, a gold bracelet with a gleaming apple charm dangling from the links in a painful show of irony. Below, the picture reads, in loving memory of Lucy Yee, 1985 to 1992. Wow. Super sad.
The sound of girls laughing
Wafts.
wafts around my head, and for just a second, I swear it's coming from behind the glass of Lucy Lee
Memorial.
Period. Then one of them says, "Comma, I dare you to go say hi." And I look across the square and see a group of younger girls crowded around a table at the frozen yogurt shop. The shortest one
Emerges.
emerges slapping one of her girls away, one of her friends away. Then
Brushing.
brushing the hair from her face to wave to me. I recognize Maya and wave back before turning again to the Ford
Fountain.
Did you know her? I asked Izzo, the little girl who Izzo looks down and nods. Everyone did. Then he looks up with a crooked smile that doesn't quite reach his eyes. Then in the direction of Maya and her friend. Welcome to Ravenbrooks, where everyone knows everyone. Then he claps me on the shoulder like his dad to my dad.
He go back like his dad.
Like his dad did to my dad, and pulls me closer. Wherever you want. Whether you want to know them or not. He chuckles, but I don't think he was kidding. But enough about that, he says, now we game. Well, he'll get 0 arguments from me on that front. I may not know all there is to about Ravenbrooks.
Go back. Start over. I may
not know all there is to know about Ravenbrooks or Golden Apples or expensive clothing, but I speak fluent gaming. Dad and Miguel leans against the coffee stands outside that reliving their college days while Enzo and I fight for territory and mortal realm until my eyes blur. I've nearly forgotten that I'm the shiny new kid when I see Aaron from the corner of my eye entering the gold
grotto.
Period.
He stalks in quietly, but I feel like the whole place comes to a standstill as soon as he steps through the door. I lift my chin at him and give him a little half wave, but I don't think he sees me because he just walks behind a display of remote control cars locked in a glass case. You know him? Enzo asked me, and I can't tell if he's impressed or disappointed. Yeah, he lives across the street from me, I say, watching Enzo carefully before adding, he's cool. Enzo doesn't say anything, but he just sets the remote down on the console and edges around me to look for his dad. You guys hang out? Enzo asks, not looking at me. Yeah, I say, knowing that's not the right answer, and I could feel the slim chance of normality slipping away from me. The thing is, up until now, Aaron's been the only one who actually wanted to hang out with me. And I'm not about to sell him out just because Enzo is. Well, whatever Enzo is. I still can't get a read on what's bothering him about Aaron. Just watch your back around him, Enzo says, and all the confidence he exhibited earlier seems to melt away. That's what's bothering him. He's afraid of Aaron. What? Does he kill cats or something? I heard once. That's how you know someone's going to be a serial killer.
That is true. They do kind of analyze that if you be killing pets and stuff, that you will do it to people. I don't know, Enzo says, and I swear to the aliens, he's actually not sure. He has like 3 cats around his house all the times, I say, and I can't believe I have to convince Enzo that my new friend isn't a serial killer. He's really nice, I say, although nice isn't quite how I describe Aaron now that I think about it. Still, he's no Jack the Ripper. But it's clear to me that there's no convincing Enzo. He's already picking up his shopping bag and abandoning the game he was going to buy. I follow him out the door and toward our dads, who have actually tears in their eyes from laughing so hard. Oh man, why has it taken us this long to get back in touch? My dad says to Mr. Expositio, absently ruffling my hair. I don't know, but I'm glad you're here, Mr. Expositio says, and Enzo and I scuff our shoes on the ground until Dad finally gives each other a half handshake, half hug, and say they'll see each other Monday. Did you find some clothes? Dad asks, and I nod, guiding him toward gear and away from the gamer's grotto where I can't see Aaron at all anymore. Enzo seems nice, Dad says, and he's right. Enzo does seem nice. But I'm not thinking about how nice Enzo is right now. I'm thinking about how afraid he seems of Aaron, how surprised he was that I wasn't afraid.
I pretend to be in a good mood on the way home, but I do it for Dad. Period. I haven't seen him like this for a long time. Period. When I get to my room, I don't even want to pull the tags off my new clothing or work on my audio
Manipulator.
Basically my coolest invention yet to the
Untrained
eyes, it's a simple microphone, but when the unsuspecting speaker talks into the microphone, bam, fart noises, it's part of my
bodily
function line of
inventions.
I was hoping that the trip to the square would help me take my mind off of my bizarre night with Aaron, but between the fountain shines to Lucy Lee, and the way Enzo reacted to seeing Aaron, it's like the universe is begging me to relive it. I keep thinking back to the look on Enzo's face when he saw Aaron, how he drew away from me when I told him we were friends. Sure, Aaron's family is a little weird. And his dad almost made me have an accident on their kitchen floor, but it wasn't Mr. Peterson who walked into the grotto today. It wasn't
You right. Read what you say.
Grotto today. It wasn't Mr. Peterson. I had to confess. Exoid wasn't a serial killer. It was Aaron. And if Exoid was afraid, it's hard for me not to wonder if I should be afraid too.
All right. Wow. All right, guys. So now that we have finished chapter 5, we're gonna go ahead and summarize it to the best of our ability, so we can all try to stay up on what is happening. Now, what's going on? Because I heard a lot.
Okay, so Nikki and his dad went to the square, which is basically like a place where there's a whole bunch of stores because there isn't a mall within town. So they went to the store and they was talking about some of Nikki's old clothes and how he used to get picked on and bullied, and students would ask if like he shops at the airport because of the way his clothes look. So from then they met somebody, and who did they meet, guys?
They met Exoy.
Yeah, they met Enzo
and Mr. Exposito.
And Mr. Esposito, which is Enzo's dad. Mm-hmm. And they met him in the store.
But they friends. The dad and Mr. Exposito are friends from college, remember? Mm-hmm. And they haven't seen each other in so long.
Yeah, so they introduce each other. Right, so they introduce
the kids to each other.
Right, and so they see that Enzo's in the same grade as Nikki. They're both in 8th grade.
8th grade. And then when they started talking, the kids started talking, remember? And then that's when he was asking them, because Nikki really just want to know what's going on about the museum, as he should. Mm-hmm. He's still trying to put that together. So he was asking Enzo, did he even know anything? Matter of fact, they were standing over there by the mural that we was looking at.
The memorial,
The memorial, but the mural, is that how you say it? The mural. The memorial is the place where it's at, but the mural is like
the picture of her.
Right, exactly. I hope I'm saying it right. If not, y'all understand what I'm trying to say. But where they got her plaque in the picture that we showed you on the page, that the little girls, remember, the kids was over there saying...
Yeah, Maya, which is Aaron's sister, was over there.
Now, what
Maya
was that
and
about?
her friend. So they seem to be laughing behind the picture of the memorial of Lucy Yee. I don't know what they were laughing about.
I don't know what was
funny. But then that's...
And why Maya was there, which is Aaron's sister, with her friends. But either way, still... Enzo's not friends with Aaron.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah,
isn't he scared of him?
Yeah, so
he's scared of him because he thinks he's a serial killer.
Yes, and so
that's why he's scared of him, and that's because he be killing pets. So they say. But I mean, like, he got reason to be, and so that's just really further saying that they all extra creepy. Because if you say Aaron, you think is a serial killer, well, the father's the neighbor.
Yeah, and Enzo told Aaron to watch his back around. Enzo told Nikki to watch his back around Aaron.
What you got to add?
Nikki wanted to take his mind off of the crazy night with Aaron, but between from the shrines to Lucy Wee, and the way Enzo was felt to seeing Aaron, it wasn't Mr. Pearson. Nick had to convince Enzo wasn't a serial killer. It was Aaron.
It sure was, because I mean, yeah, everybody think Mr. Peterson's the one, but now he's saying it's Aaron. So what you think? I don't know. I don't know, because Aaron or the Aarons, they age, but yeah, Enzo said he ain't fooling with them, so I don't know. Guys, chapter 6, and then Maya was there with her friend. She didn't really say too much, but she was around. So, yeah, it's getting real interesting. So, we look forward to... I know I'm looking forward to. You can't wait to see what's going to happen next chapter?
Yes, me too.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's reading for Chapter 5. Again, if you haven't got you a copy, you got your time. We'll be back in another day, a day and a half, 2 days to max, with Chapter 6. Thank you, guys. See you next time.